we officially get going here, folks, I want to say it is great to be back in Boston. We are back at AM 680 WRKO today, kicking off a brand new period of broadcast excellence on our original affiliate there, and it's great to be back. Happy to be back at WRKO in Boston, and I, El Rushball, am happy to be back, period. Here we are behind the golden EIB microphone for broadcast excellence, 3 straight hours. Telephone number 800-282-2882, and the email address lrushball at eibnet.com. I'm looking at the Drudge Report here, and he says that there are Secret Service agents in Tampa who say that they are advance team members for Vice President Bite Me. That Bite Me is coming on Monday and or Tuesday of the Republican convention, which is entirely possible. Democrats might have told Bite Me that the Democrat convention is the one in Tampa, and they're sending him there so that he doesn't show up at the Democrat convention. I mean, it's entirely possible. We know how confused old Chains gets at times, and we know that the Democrats really would love to be rid of him. We do. No, I'm not avoiding it, Snurdly. Of course not. We got 3 hours here. I know. Here's Snurdly yelling at me. Are you going to get rid of Akin now? Before I give my 2 cents on all this, folks, let me first say, my natural tendency, I have 2 natural tendencies. One is to avoid the pack, to avoid the conventional wisdom, to avoid when everybody seems to be uttering, voicing, doing the same thing. That's when I put on the brakes and say, do I want to join this mob? And I also have as you well know, a tendency to want to support conservatives who come under fire. It doesn't happen enough. The Democrats circle the wagons around their people. We circle the firing squad. It's what we do. And I think I understand exactly what happened here. All these people who say they don't know what Akin was saying, they don't know what he was trying to say. I think I know exactly what he was trying to say. I think I know exactly what happened here. So I think Akin is one of these guys. It's a wild guess because I don't know him, but I'm just going to throw my 2 cents in here like everybody else is. Yeah, there are people who hang around only like-minded people. And there are people who hang around and expose themselves to people who disagree with them on things. And I think Akin may be one of these people who hangs around with people who only think the way he does about things. And I happen to believe, because what is this really all about? If you strip this down, what Akin was trying to say was something very simple. I don't think abortion should even happen in rape. That's what he was trying to say. Let's just strip away all the other stuff. And there are a group of pro-lifers who profoundly believe that. And they talk to each other and they try to come up with ways of persuading other people to agree with them on this. Because their view is, it's not the baby's fault. Why are we going to kill the baby? Why should there be an exception? The baby is the essence of innocence in every act of conception. The baby is entirely innocent, is what they believe. And so an exception to them weakens the entire argument. So they sit around amongst themselves. I'm not being critical of them. Don't misunderstand my choice of words or tone. And they try to think of ways to persuade other people to agree with them. So Akin goes on TV with Charles Jaco, which, mistake number 1, but he goes on with Charles Jaco on local St. Louis TV. And this whole business of a woman's body shuts down in rape, that's There's no evidence for that. But this is the kind of thing that people who do nothing but talk amongst themselves will conjure up. A belief system like that and end up and they'll grab onto anything they can to support what their empirical belief is. Because their ultimate aim is to save life. Their ultimate aim is to protect the baby no matter what circumstance the conception occurs in. And I think that's just who the guy is, but he doesn't know how to explain it. He has no clue how to make his case for it. And so he hangs around people who are like-minded, and they've devised this belief system. He's not the first guy to say this. I've had people tell me that a woman's body shuts down in rape. There's no evidence for this. I mean, it's absolutely absurd. This leads to the second problem. This is absurd. That belief that a woman's body shuts down and the whole notion of legitimate, illegitimate rape, it's just that's the thing that bothers me about it. That's just absurd. It's not intelligent. So now we have, I know what he was trying to talk about. I know, I'm pretty confident, I'm pretty sure that I know what he was trying to say. And then, as others have pointed out, on the one hand, here we have a guy in glorious ineptitude attempting to defend every conceived life. And by the way, God bless him for that. On the other hand, we got a political party who's going to have a former president actually accused of rape introduce and keynote Barack Obama. And that's fine. This is why I am hesitant to join the mob that says throw this guy out. We have a circular firing squad. Look, folks, I'm well aware of what happened in Missouri. I'm well aware it was an open primary. A bunch of Democrats went in there and voted for Akin, because this is another question people are. How did the guy win? If we want to throw him out, the guy won. Why do we want to throw him out? Well, he won a three-way race in which the Democrats could vote, and the Democrats were running ads suggesting that this guy, they couldn't wait to run against this guy because of the issue of abortion and this whole war on women. They just couldn't wait. McCaskill was salivating to get Akin as the nominee, and she got what she wanted. There's a poll out. I don't know if you've seen this. Probably have seen it because it's a little afternoon, and this poll has been out since yesterday. Public policy polling. Liberal Democrat polling firm from North Carolina. Even after all of this, they say Akin still leads McCaskill by 1 point. Yeah, have you seen the sample breakdown in that poll? You haven't? Well, I'll tell you about it. 9% more Republicans in the sample than Democrats. This poll is part of the whole strategy to keep Akin on the ticket. Keep him as the nominee. Public policy polling with a poll out after all this that shows this guy leading McCaskill by 1 point, but they have to do this with a Republican sample 9% larger than the Democrat sample. Now, a lot of you are going to think I'm insincere when I say this. I have a real problem sitting here and telling this man he has to go. I don't want anybody telling me what I have to do with my radio show. I don't like people telling me, you better quit after I've said something that I don't even think, in many cases, the double standard is undeniable, but it's there. And it's, I think, one of the reasons, by the way, if I may address this double standard business, we circle the firing squad, they circle the wagons. One of the reasons why the double standard exists in the way Republicans in public life or conservatives in public life are treated versus liberal Democrats is very simple to me, too. We have made it plain we care about truth. We have made it plain that we care about honesty. We've made it plain we care about integrity and we care about virtue. And so there's a standard. The other side couldn't care less about any of that. Their animating force, the thing that gives them life every day, the thing that gets them out of bed, is defeating us. That's not what gets our side out of bed every day, is defeating them. And this proves it. We are not unified in our desire to rid the earth of socialists. They are unified in their desire to rid the world of us. Politically. And as such, we have no unity on our side and a different purpose altogether. But the double standard exists. I'll never forget one day, 20 years ago, Oliver North was out making a speech somewhere, and he cracked a joke that was, I don't even remember the joke. I don't remember the details. All I know is the Washington Post raked him over the coals. And it was something that if a Democrat had said, everybody would be applauding and laughing. And I called him and said, Ollie, there's a different standard here. There's a, we make it plain we care about virtue and honesty and all that. They don't, so there is a different standard. He said, you're right. Look they've got Joe Biden out telling black people that we want to put them all back in chains, and they circle the wagons, they defend that. I mean, I know they circle the wagons, they'll defend Obama on anything. They're out there now saying Obama's not trying to divide anybody. Obama never called Romney a felon. Who the hell are you to make that act? And we all know what happened. Akin's got to go by 5 o'clock today, from what I understand. But then he doesn't. There's still a way to get him off the ticket or for him to leave the you need a court order after 5 o'clock, but there's still a way. There is still a way he can leave the campaign, cede the victory after 5 o'clock today. I've seen all of the things that you've seen, people telling him he should go, he needs to get out for the good of the party, for the good of the country, for the good of the presidential campaign. I got to defeat Obama. I agree with all that, by the way. I think that there are a lot of things here larger than single individuals. Saving the country, from our perspective, is at the top of that. Repealing Obamacare is at the top of that. And any distraction that makes it tougher to vote for Romney and Ryan is something that we don't need. Understand all that. At the same time, I'm a guy on the radio. Who am I to tell this man what to do? He knows what he's going to do. He knows he knows the right thing to do, and he knows whether he's going to do it or not. He's got hundreds of people leaning on him, trying to reach him by phone or what have you. So I try. He's an honest, decent guy. That's the one thing that I think. You disagree with me on that, Snerdley? It is stupid. That's he said something stupid. He said something that's not true. He said something that can't be proven. And as such, we don't know how often that kind of thing will happen throughout the rest of the campaign. Anyway, it's time to take a time out here, folks. Our first obscene profit break of the hour in the program. We'll take it. We'll come back. I have a soundbite roster here, 43 soundbite, and I got it in plenty of time to go through what's here. But choosing where to start, I might as well just roll the dice. Just pick one and start, because it's encompasses all the days I was gone, plus news that happened yesterday. Condoleezza Rice, by the way, admitted to Augusta National. Predicted that. Didn't predict Condi, but predicted that this would happen. I even have an audio soundbite. No, it was inevitable. It was like Howard Cosell said of some guy dying. It was inevitable. it was inevitable that a woman was going to get into Augusta National at some point. So anyway, we'll take a brief timeout. We'll come back, continue, get your phone calls in the mix as well right after this.